As this video gets started, I'm gonna ask y'all to excuse my voice. I don't usually sound like this. My 2-year-old got sick. She got my newborn sick. My newborn got my wife sick. My wife got me sick. So I promise you I don't normally sound like this, but today we're gonna be talking about some things in FL Studio you may or may not know that you can do that will help improve the workflow in FL Studio. Now, I've been using FL Studio since 2010. I've also used Adobe. I've used Audacity. I've used Logic Pro. Even used a little bit of Pro Tools, but FL Studio is my home, so this is where I have the most experience. And I'm still learning stuff every day, but these are just a few things that I found that really help with my workflow. And there are some things here that I had not seen in any other tutorials, and some things that I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know how to do. So we're gonna cover those in this video. And if this is the type of content you like, make sure to subscribe to the channel. But anyway, let's get right to it. So the first thing, and this is the biggest thing for me, a lot of y'all know that you can save mixer track states to reopen them later. You can save them and then you can come back and open them. And when you open them, it has all your effects and everything. Like I said, this is something a lot of people know how to do, but a lot of people don't know that you can save entire FL Studio templates that apply to more than just the mixer. It applies to your mixer connections. It applies to your buses, your side chains, and even the connections from your playlist to your mixer. And I know that a lot of people don't really mess with the templates and stuff up here, but these templates right here, you can actually create your own templates. You can actually create your own templates and have most of the stuff that you need set up before you ever hit record. And because of that, if I know how I want my stuff set up, instead of having to set it up every time I start a new file, I can just pull it up from scratch. So all you have to do that is you go in and you save a file just like you're saving any other file. What you want to do is you want to make all the changes to the mixer that you want to make and connect your playlist mixer tracks to your regular mixer tracks. Make sure they're all connected the way you want it. Go to save it like you're saving the project itself, but instead of saving it to wherever your regular projects are, go through your computer, and it may be different, depending on where you put your stuff. For me, it's just in documents where it's supposed to be. So you can go to documents, image line, FL Studio, projects, and then templates. And you can save the actual file to this folder. And now when you open FL Studio, you can actually choose to open that file as a template. But we can take this a step further. And what we will do is we will go to our general settings. And in general, if you scroll down, you can change the default template for your FL Studio. And once you change this, every time you make a new FL Studio project, it's going to make it using that template that you created. So for instance, and I'm gonna use myself for an example, every time I make a new FL Studio project, it's already set up to where it's going to have my beats. It's going to have my mic where I record. You can actually already hear my mic. My mic's already set up. Not only that, my mic already has limited auto tune because that's how I like to record. I'm gonna mute it real quick though. Now, then I have my main vocal here. I have my dub for my main vocal here. The main vocal I will duplicate as needed because I have a track for a verse, for chorus, for pre-chorus. So this will be duplicated, but it'll all be on the main vocal. This will be my dub. This will be my ad lib that I have a lot of reverb on. And then I typically have 4 to 6 harmonies at any given time on the song. So I have all my harmony tracks set up. But taking this a step further, because I have it set up the way I want it set up, even though I just opened this project, I have my mic here, like, I've already showed y'all. But on my main vocal, I already have my preset set up. On my dub, I already have my preset set up. On my space, my harmonies have all the effects they need. They're already volume adjusted. They're already panned the way I want to pan. So this is the single biggest thing that has helped me when it comes to my workflow, knowing that I can just import a beat in here and get right to recording, knowing that everything else is already set up the way I wanted to set up, and I just have to tweak it a little bit. Makes setting stuff up so much easier. While we're on this topic, another way to improve your workflow, although it does take a little bit more time to get it set up, coloring your tracks on your mixer will also make your life a whole lot easier. If you're working with a file that has a bunch of different audio clips and you're searching for that one clip or that second clip, it's going to be easier to find if you have everything color coded. Also, if y'all hear my daughter singing, she's standing right next to me. She actually has the headphones on. So if y'all hear her, Yeah, just bear with her. If you're working with a lot of stacks and harmonies, there is another mixer trick that will help you. You probably saw it earlier in the video. But what you would do, of course you can see the waveform and everything here. What you can do is you can go to File, go to your View Settings, and you click Waveforms. And so using this setting, instead of getting levels, you actually get a waveform of the file that's coming through itself. And that way, when you're trying to balance your harmonies and stuff and everything, you can see exactly what harmony is putting out how much and adjust it from there. I'll give you an example. This is from my song Make Me that came out last year. And you'll be able to see on the mixer track how the vocals come in, how they come in on the waveform, and how you can see which one is putting out how much. So I'll show you that here.
See, you make me push forward when I wanna stop. You make me keep climbing, I don't wanna drop. You make me much better than the day before. You make me wanna love till I can't love no more. You make me push forward when I wanna stop. You make me keep climbing, I don't wanna drop. You make me much better than the day before. You make me. Little did you know it, but you saved me. You don't know the places that you take me. A life without you in it, I just can't see.
You probably already noticed, but a lot of these tips are definitely mixer oriented, because fooling with the mixing and setting that up is a lot of times your biggest time consumer. But this next tip is also a mixer tip. But this tip will only apply if you have more than one monitor. But if you have more than one monitor, you can actually take the mixer or any other big plugin and you can move the entire plugin to a different monitor. So you can view that on an entire monitor. So how you would do that is all you would do is you would go to either your mixer or that plugin, whatever plugin you want to use. Go to your view tab and you have, or under your view tab actually, you have an option that says attach. If you click detach, this allows you to take the mixer outside of the bounds of FL Studio and put it anywhere you want to, and it's still going to stay on top of other applications. So doing this, I'm able to drag this over to my other monitor completely, and that way when I'm mixing and when I'm trying to get stuff right, I can keep my main monitor clear, look over to my left and see all my mixer faders on the left side. And then if you ever change your mind and you want to bring it back, you just do the same thing. You click detach and it'll bring it right back in. The next thing that I want to show, now this doesn't really help with anything. Like this doesn't help with anything as far as your actual, workflow, or it might, depending on how important aesthetics are to you. But if you go to your general settings, or you can go to theme settings, but if you click on theme here, you can actually change the entirety of how your FL Studio looks in one click. So you can go from what I have here to that in one click. Now this right here is a little bit too bright for me, but if this is your aesthetic, you know what I'm saying, you're able to change that. You're able to actually edit any of these. You can just go through and click these and see how different they look. Again, this is not something that's like, going to be a game changer. Unless you're somebody that likes to, if you like to stream on Twitch while you're making beats, or you like to show your process, you can actually customize these, with the colors of your branding or however you want to do it, and basically make a look that's all your own. And so that's how, some people are watching this and wondering how I got my FL Studio looking how it's looking. This is how. This next one is for those that like to record MIDI into FL Studio. Maybe you got a keyboard that you actually play your notes, like I do. I got the guitar back here, or whatever the case may be. Even if you're using like your keyboard or you're just clicking notes in, the important thing about recording your sound is making sure you get your notes on the right tempo. And to be honest, in a realistic human body, it's hard to get perfect tempo on everything. But you have an option on here that will automatically line up your notes the best way they need to be lined up. And so I'm going to play this and I'm going to show you how to do it. So So I'm gonna play this. This is not a legit song. It's just an idea I had, and I just typed it in FL Studio so I wouldn't lose it. As you can hear, that's badly out tempo again because I was just trying to type in an idea so I wouldn't forget it. But say for instance, I wanted to quantize this. I wanted it to be on beat. I wanted it to be on tempo. I'm gonna take this section, or you can just hit Control A and do everything. But I'm gonna just do this section. And what you do is you click your drop down arrow. You go to Tools, and then you have an option to quantize. So Quantize will automatically just pull your notes to the closest applicable beat. What I like to do is I like to do it on a 16th note. Just because I do have, a little bit of music theory. See, and now that it's quantized, now you get this. But I mean, you can already see, even though that wasn't like a legit recording, you can already see how much more smooth that is, how closer to the correct tempo it's supposed to be. And it literally took 3 clicks to fix everything instead of having to go redo it and re-record it till I got it right. And the last thing that FL Studio will allow you to do is be you. Now, I know that sounds cliche and everything, but I think a lot of times we do get too caught up on following the rules of mixing and mastering, following the rules of making sure we record vocals this way or that way. Something you have to understand is that there are no rules to creativity. When you open FL Studio and you get your mic turned on and you get your instruments hooked up, there are no rules. Create what you want to create. Now, of course, depending on the goal for your music, you do have rules that you need to keep an eye out for. You do have guidelines you need to go by. If you want to be an industry artist, there may be certain things you want to do, but as far as creativity in its purest form, there are no rules. FL Studio will allow you to be whoever you want to be. This goes for any DAW. This goes for any aspect of creativity, whether you're actually making music, whether you're making beats, whether you're doing voiceovers, whether you're making memes. It doesn't matter. FL Studio will allow you to do whatever you need to do. So when you open FL Studio, throw all them rules out the window, embrace your creativity, and do whatever it is you want to do. That being said, I appreciate you guys checking out this video so much. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you check out my latest music. It will be in the releases section of this channel. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next video.